Hey there, welcome to another episode of Between the Lines, if you understand that. I don't know if we mentioned it before. We've been shooting this from Alabama. Uh, we like the weather down here, and we're going to be moving down here, so we'll be catching some of the natural beauty of this state as these podcasts go on. I think Gina, as usual, is well organized today and has something to cover. And of course, I'm winging it, and that's probably never going to change. Go ahead, Gina.
So I guess we'll talk first about the FDA approving new vid jabs for infants as young as 6 months old.
Nice.
Based on minimal data or testing. So supposedly these new vaccines are formulated to more closely target current circulating variants and to provide better protection against serious consequences of the C19, including hospitalizations and death. However, the vaccines target the XBB.1.5 variant, which is declining. So not sure why we need to vaccinate anyone against something that's declining already.
Does anybody believe that this is for health?
Yeah, there are a lot of people that believe it's for health.
Well, I guess probably
that's why they're doing it.
Comment below on whether you believe that this jab for infants, which, man, Jesus.
So they've received
is for health.
They've received approval.
Tell us what you think.
FDA approval for
FDA.
people ages 12 and up.
Of course.
And emergency use for children from 6 months to 11 years. Are we still under emergency use?
What would be the emergency? What is the emergency? You know, isn't that how it always works? They always declare an emergency to scare the crud out of everybody, and then everybody goes, oh, God, please save us. And we kind of just forget this whole history thing. Those people are the ones that, you know, they do the genocides and stuff. I mean, we keep trusting that. God, it's ridiculous. I keep wondering, how does this keep occurring? And we repeat it over and over and over again. Somebody trusts Big Brother. Why in the hell would you do that?
And how many babies and kids have we seen with it?
Oh, I don't know.
How many times did you hear about a child or a baby dying from it?
Well, I mean, if it did, it's from the treatment.
There is
it's
none
from
that
the
I
treatment,
know of.
not the actual issue.
And then there's no evidence of how they affect children or babies.
You know, it's maybe instead of spending all the money and time on all this, you know, where they're trying to basically get people to eliminate themselves, why not go after the people who created it? Why aren't we doing that? How's that Fauci guy still walking around? I don't get it. I mean, he's just one of many. You know, one of many. I mean, not one guy did this situation, but this is ridiculous.
So while we're talking about this, this shot and the flu shot, which they give kids and pregnant women, are totally unnecessary. And I don't know why any pregnant woman would allow an injection while they're pregnant. Because it goes right to the fetus.
They always used to say, don't do that.
Yeah.
And now do it. Well, I mean, what are they doing? What do you guys think they're doing? Comment below and tell us what you believe they are doing when they're telling pregnant women to take these experimental shots. What do you think's going on?
Some of the trickery is they don't want to label these as boosters, so they're recasting them as annual immunization effort.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have the flu on the flu vaccine.
Yeah, get immunized. There you go. Yeah, get immunized. That seems like a natural process.
And how many more shots do our babies need? I mean, we're already over 70 shots. I mean, that's just crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, and we can't make a connection with autism and all the other sicknesses that happen. I mean, it's insane. There's actually some doctors that have realized this, but unfortunately, most of them, they're just freaking blind to it, or they don't care. I'm not real sure. I'm sure that some do care, don't know what to do. A lot of them just want paid, and a lot of them, honestly, they're clueless. They just do what they're told.
And then we'll bring up masks again. So they don't work, but they keep trying to tell us they do when there's already 50 years of research showing that they don't. So with increasing reports of these mandates in hospitals and schools and businesses, we wanted to inform you of how you could resist the illegal coercion to wear them. So the AFLDS has created legal documents for non-compliance when masks are required for adults and children.
Is that a link we can provide?
Yeah, I can provide this link for customizable templates. Basically, it's letters. It states research. It has a whole bunch of information that you can hand off to your employer or your child's school. You don't need to tell them anything. Just give them this paper and tell them you're not wearing one.
Yeah, tell them to fuck off.
It's unlawful under well-established legal principles: the right to bodily autonomy, right to unrestricted breathing, the right to be recognized, and the right to display and express one's face are basic human rights grounded in individual liberty. One of the cornerstone principles of the United States, the right to breathe, is fundamental and basic to all human life.
But they don't want us to breathe.
Say no everywhere you go.
You're the carbon they want to reduce. They don't want you to breathe.
To get these templates, I can put a link in the comments, or you can email us at thelinesnews@gmail.com. And I can send you several templates.
What do you think of that? Do you think you actually need a paper? I mean, it's great. I think you should have it, because if you don't know, and I guess the biggest thing is you're dealing with people that are uninformed. They think it's the law. I mean, when this thing first started, I recall people saying it's a mandate. It's a mandate. And they just went on and on about that. I'm like, you guys are idiots, man. That is not a law. Because just because your county commissioner, wanted to get the federal funds that they were giving out and put these mandates in for your county, or if you're in a city, your mayor did that just so they could get these funds. I mean, they were all paid to do this stuff. That is not a law. And then when the police actually enforced it, they were breaking the law. They were it's called deprivation. What's it called? Deprivation of rights under the color of law, which is actually a felony. So they were committing felonies against you when they were forcing you out of the parks, when they were arresting you for not wearing a mask. They committed felonies. Deprivation of rights under the color of law. Rights are rights. They're not taken away by government because they didn't give them to us. We already have them. You're born here. You're a creation of God. You have those rights. The only reason they're in writing is to tell your quote-unquote representatives, which, Jesus, there's hardly any that do that anymore, to tell them these are your boundaries. They're not boundaries on you. They're boundaries on them. But you have to assert them. You can't, okay, well, it's a law. You got to know what your rights are. I don't understand why people don't know their rights anymore. They're so basic. They're super basic. And then somebody telling you must wear a mask to operate in this world. Look, man, seriously, tell them to fuck off. And don't back down.
And I don't think the templates are about, do people need them? You don't need them. You just need to say no. But I think a lot of people don't like the confrontation, or don't feel like they have enough knowledge about it to argue about it if you have to argue. But these templates do give a lot of information in them as well that you can read, that you're giving to the person that you're telling.
It would be good to have it. You should look at it. Then you can hand it out to the person who is ill-informed. But I mean, it's your duty to know your own rights. And I mean, this is just common sense. If I come up and put my hand over your mouth, can I do that? No. Can I tell you it's a law? I can do this. Well, I could, but I mean, you should already know inherently that it's wrong, and that you have the right to breathe, and you have the right to operate in this world without these insane rules. But I mean, they scared a lot of people the first time, and I'm sure they're going to do something stupid, and it can potentially get bad, and then make you look like the bad guy again. But don't give in, just don't do it. So what else do we have, Gina?
Well, we can talk about a little bit. I guess this would fall under health, but talk about the garbage they serve in public schools.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So now in 2023, I guess the 2 Kraft Heinz ready-to-eat prepackaged Lunchables
Oh yeah,
are going to be
man.
added to K-12 school lunch programs across the U.S.
Wow. Heinz got a good contract on that, didn't they?
The interesting thing is Kraft Heinz is owned by institutional shareholders, and the top 4 being Berkshire Hathaway, BlackRock, Vanguard, and
Oh yeah.
State Street.
Oh, BlackRock. Hold on,
Which
BlackRock
is
and
a
Vanguard.
partner of the School Nutrition Association.
Oh, geez. So BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Those are 3 of your biggest enemies in this entire world.
Feeding your children at school.
Well, no, yeah, just that. But I'm saying they're so smart. I mean, that Larry Fink, and his last name's Fink. I mean, let's think about it. The CEO of BlackRock. I mean, these guys are smarter now. They have collected all of your 401k money. You're giving them money every month. It's tax deductible, so it seems like a great idea. They're using all of this money from all these corporations, these individuals, to purchase shares of different companies, and that's how they control the companies. But more importantly, they're actually picking up their own assets with your money. So you shouldn't have any of your funds going into BlackRock, Vanguard, or State Street, just to name 3. I mean, hell, there's probably others that we're unaware of. And those of you that are sold on the 401k because you just don't know enough, or you don't want to deal with it, whatever the case may be, at the very least, you could help yourself out by maybe not choosing those particular funds to have your money in. Why would you fund your own destruction? I mean, they're running the world. Hands down, they're making the decisions. They own freaking everything. They own such a majority stakes in so many of the big corporations that they can handle and control most governments. And that's just a fact. And one of the things the way that we could, as a society, cripple those guys is to not fund them and to start pulling that money out or putting it in other places. The whole 401k thing is it could be a good thing, but most of the time it's a scam. And again, we're funding our own demise, but that doesn't surprise me a bit. I mean, they think about the money that they're making by throwing Kraft in all these schools, and that food, it's not food. That stuff is total trash.
Let's just talk a little bit about
total
it,
trash.
so people learn as well about ingredients and food.
Okay,
So
yeah, let's look at it.
One of the things is the presence of soybean oil in it, which is loaded with harmful omega-6, key contributor to chronic diseases, as it impairs mitochondrial function and energy production. So more
tired,
low
energy, fat kids. Yeah.
Do you want to talk any about soybean oils?
Oh, Jesus.
Which is in so many things.
Look,
all your salad dressings.
Soybean oils. It's got phytoestrogens in it. So, I mean, if you're a guy and you're looking to get some man boobs, I mean, by all means, eat all the soybean oil you want. If you want estrogen levels up, by all means, be cooking with it. And here's the thing, guys. The stuff that says vegetable oil in the supermarkets, you think, oh, vegetable oil, that's great. Well, dude, most of it's soybean oil or corn oil. It goes rancid. It's no good. It literally clogs your arteries. You definitely need to go back to what our ancestors did, and that's fat from animals. This grain shit, I mean, it is not something we should be pounding down our throats, and we do. So all that and the byproducts of that.
Which is the other ingredient, wheat gluten.
Wheat gluten.
Which contribute to cause leaky gut. And then, it has artificial flavors, preservatives, food coloring.
The thing with the gluten issue, since I've developed a little bit of that, and we eat organic, so I'm not real sure why mine would be that way, but I can tell you that now they spray all the wheat with Roundup to kill it all off very quickly. So you're getting like a good final dose of Roundup, which that stuff's really great for you.
Right before they harvest.
Right before they harvest. They do it because it kills the plant. The plant tries to survive, so it produces a seed as quickly as possible. So then they have a seed that is uniform throughout the field. That's why they do it. But how healthy is it? It's not healthy at all, man. But that's our food system in general.
So So basically, they're saying that processed packaged, ultra processed junk food meets the school lunch standards,
There you go.
and that's not including the nitrates that would be in it as well. Which
Nitrates.
cause...
If you want, stomach cancer, then by all means, tear into it. That's what we're feeding our kids.
Right.
Okay, look, like and subscribe to this channel. Help us grow, and we'll just keep trying to bring you information, and maybe we can try to put a positive spin on this. But what we're trying to do is inform you so that you can navigate this world. All right?
Be the line.
Be the line.